Hi, BJ Poznecki. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the cartridge and balancing spool on a single handle Kohler shower valve. So here's the kit that you need. It's the GP876851. It has the actual cartridge and the balancing spool. The balancing spool, I noticed, does look a little bit different. I think they changed the design. But you get this at any Depot, Menards, Lowe's, they may have them in stock. You definitely can get it at a plumbing supply house, or actually I just got that on Amazon, and I want to think it was like $60. So we're going to start with, before we even begin, so we don't forget, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to turn the water off at the main water shutoff valve. One thing I also like to do is, if there is a plumbing fixture or a bathroom, something below the area I'm working in, I like to just, after I turn the water off, I'm going to go ahead and open up another valve and just let the water run out, just to reduce all the pressure, because when we pull that cartridge out, there's going to be water that spurts out of there. So by opening up something down below, we're just letting all that water run out and letting the and lowering the pressure before we pull the cartridge out. Okay, we're going to start taking everything apart. So this particular handle style is just a screw in. There's no set screw that is holding in this handle. So when we don't see any set screws, it's just a turn style. So we're going to just unloosen this handle. Okay, take the handle. We're going to take this trim plate off. Sometimes they can get stuck on here. You might have to kind of take a screwdriver and kind of pop them off if they're giving you a hard time. All right, so on this one, this is a style A, and how I know that is it's a circular trim right here. So we're going to start with, just to get these two screws off, we're going to have to take off the white, or in this case, it's white, this white gomazigam, we're going to call it. Let's call it the handle adapter, because there's threads inside here, so that's what the handle actually mounts onto. Alright, I'm going to take these screws out, and we're going to just go ahead and get this off and out of here. Put the screws over. Make sure if you got your tub stopper, make sure you put something to cover it, just in case if you drop any screws, hopefully they don't go down the drain. We've done that before. All right, now we're going to take off our two screws here on the side of the cartridge. Be careful, these are shorties. All right, now that I'm loosening this up, I can hear the air escaping, because we have that shower below here on, so this way the water is running out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the cartridge off. Okay, it's not uncommon to get some water trickle down here, so that's another reason why I like to open another plumbing fixture below, preferably something like a shower, something that's not restricted. I mean, if you only have a faucet, then that's fine, whatever, you know, open the hot and cold and let the water run out. If you want, you can also put a towel here if there's water dripping. All right, now we got this balancing spool in here. So we're gonna grab either a pair of pliers, channel locks, lineman's pliers, whatever you got. We got some channel locks here. And then what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna go in here. There's two ports, and I'm just gonna pull this out of here like so. Now, I'm here by myself. I was actually working on this, shooting another video the other day, but typically when I have the cartridge and everything out of here, and again, I already did this the other day, but what I like to do is, when I've got this stuff pulled out, is I like to turn the water on and flush out, because sometimes debris can get caught up in these valves back here, and then it gets, you know, caught up in, you know, the balancing spool or the cartridge, and it can restrict the water flow. So when I have another person, what I would do is I would close off the shower here, and then I would maybe get like a bucket or something, and then I put a towel over here, and I turn the water, have somebody else turn the water on at the main, and I flush this out. You know what I mean? I just let it run for like 10 seconds. It's, you know, it's full force. It'll hit the back wall. It's a lot of pressure coming out of here. That's why I'll take a bucket or something to deflect the water down into the tub and just blow it out. But since I already did that a couple days ago, we're going to skip that step. But that's something that you're going to want to do if you have another person with you that can just run down. Anybody, get on your phone and just, you know, coordinate, have them down by the shutoff valve, turn it on, you know, monitor this with the bucket, blow it all out, you know, for 10 seconds, and then have them shut the water down, and then proceed with putting everything back together. Just wanted to show you guys this. So I'm taking this out of the package, you know, and you got to look around for stuff. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but one of the O-rings is lodged down inside right here. If you look right where the light is, there's an O-ring that we need to put together on the balancing spool. So I'm gonna have to fish that out of here, but just wanted to show you guys that's a good example of where I kind of actually went wrong on this one. You know, always make sure you have all the parts. Not the end of the world. I happen to find the O-ring in here, but you know, you could be starting a job, I turn the water off, and now I'm missing parts, and I gotta go run to the store. Now, you know, you could typically get an O-ring or something like, you know, like an O-ring or a gasket if you're missing something at a local Ace Hardware. They're usually good for that kind of stuff because they have, you know, all the little, you know, hard to find parts, you know, that maybe Home Depot or other places may not have. But always good to check and make sure you got all the parts before you're starting the job is my point of wanting to show you this. I was able to fish that O-ring out of the cartridge and install that, so that goes on the back of our balancing spool here. Okay, you got 2 O-rings that get put in here. Now this one, it's a little bit different design than the old one, and on here it actually has cold side. Oop, there you go, cold. All right, so on this valve, typically your cold comes in on the right and hot on the left. So not always, but you want to confirm that. Sometimes the plumbers accidentally mix things up and they have to, you know, reverse the cartridge and do other stuff. So, but in this situation, for normal circumstances, cold is on the right, hot is on the left. So when we insert this, O-rings go to the back, cold side is to the right here. I'm going to slide this in. Okay, now I've got my cartridge. There was a little, a very, very little tube of some silicone lubricant. So you're just going to want to put that around this O-ring here, this outer O-ring, and then these 2 smaller ones that are for the ports, for the hot and the cold. All right, we're going to flip this over. We're going to make sure we line our notch over here. This is our top. All right, so we're going to insert this back like we took it out. Give it a good push here. All right, now it comes with this retaining clip or mounting ring. I'm going to go ahead and just put the, you can use that one, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and put the original one back on because it says top. And then there's also this extra ring here. This extra hole, which lines up with this. There's a little tab that sticks out here, or a little pin, and that just helps us line that up so that our screw holes are in line. And they gave us 2 new fancy screws. I'm going to go ahead and put our, you know, I just like to tighten these up just to get them snug and hold stuff in place, and then we'll do the other side. All right, we'll kind of go back and forth here. Make sure that this is all the way back. And then I'll go ahead and give these a good tighten. All right. I'm going to put our white piece, our white Gomezi gum back on. Give this a good push. Look in here, make sure our holes are aligned, because there is a little bit of play on this one. Okay. Go ahead and put our screws back on. Now, there is a hot water adjustment on these, so you can adjust your hot water if you want to dial it down or have full hot water. So Get these nice and tight. Just double check these for the actual cartridge. And now if you want to adjust the hot water, excuse my reach here, what you can do is there's a little rubber O-ring right here and a little plastic guard. We could take this O-ring off, and all this is doing is holding this little plastic cover. You can leave that on or take it off, but right here is the hot temperature limit. So I'm just going to make sure that we're in this cartridge is in the off position, which, you know, off position is down or 6 o'clock, and then this one goes clockwise from cold to hot. So I'm just going to make sure that this is in the off position. Okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a turn here. Okay, so this is on. I'm going to turn it back counterclockwise to off. And then I'm just going to, I mean, you could set this wherever you want, and then you could even do a micro adjustment with that set screw. But since I'm not so concerned about it, I'm actually just going to put it where it's not even going to touch here. So I'm putting the notch side closer to the right side of the top of the cartridge here. And then I'm just going to put the O-ring back on. I don't need that little plastic sheath. It's just, you know, you can put the, you know, installation date and, you know, information and stuff on there. So we're going to leave that off. We are going to put our cover back on. So let's look for the writing on the cover. Kohler up top here. And then I see my cold to hot. So we're going to put this back kind of somewhat in position. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting something here. Hold on one second. I actually threw out, so we've got a brass piece that has a screw that mounts on here. That's what, you know, that square fitting matches the handle, but it's still on the old cartridge, and I just threw it out. I got my piece off that other cartridge that I threw out. So, and actually, this is good that you guys are seeing this. This is why it's good to just take your time. I'm kind of trying to, you know, make this video a little bit quick. Slow down. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So we're going to install, we adjusted our hot water temperature. We just basically took it off. So now whatever the hot water heater is set at is what we're going to get at this shower valve. So it is going to be hot. I would dial it down if you guys have, you know, small children. All right, so we're going to install this. We're just going to put it right on here. I want to make sure we are positioned. Okay, there we go. Install our screw. I'm just going to hold this so this doesn't turn on me. So I can tighten that. Okay. So that is in our off position. We're going to put our trim plate back on. Just make sure. So this one says Kohler, and then it says cold to hot right here. So go ahead and just kind of get this in generally in place. And then we're going to go ahead and put our handle back on. And I'm going to hold the plate. And then I'm also going to kind of keep my finger on the handle so it stays in this down position, so that when it meets up with that square side, square fitting, that the handle is in that 6 o'clock or down position here. So now be careful with this. We don't want to strip any, we don't want to cross thread anything. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a challenge to get on. So if you feel like it's not going on, just stop, or even go to the left and loosen it, and then get this thread straight. All right. And now I can feel that the handle is engaged with that brass piece, so I'm just going to go ahead and let it go and get this tightened up. And then as I get closer to done here, I'm gonna make sure I'm squared off on my Kohler label or etching. And then I'm just gonna snug this up. There's no need to crank on it and get it super tight here. Sometimes you go tighten this stuff too much, you start pulling the tub spout out away from the wall. So we just wanna just get it snug. You know, there is a gasket around here that seals the back side of this trim plate. And that looks good there. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go back downstairs and turn the water back on. Water back on, nothing's leaking. Always try to, you know, take a walk around the house, make sure nothing's dripping down. You know what you could even do too if you want, before you even put this stuff back on, if you want to turn the water on after you install the cartridge, that actually would be a good idea as well too, especially if you're not used to doing this kind of stuff. It's always better to be, you know, practice safe procedure. So at least this way, you know, if you turn the water on before you install this stuff, you could take your flashlight, you know, and kind of just, you know, look around, you know, in between the valve and the wall and just kind of see if anything is dripping before you put all your stuff back together. So once you're done, you know, we're in the off position, cold to hot, everything is working fine, no leaks, good to go. Hi, BJ Poznecki with Inspect and Check. If you need a home inspection or home consulting services here in the Chicagoland area, please give me a call at 773-403-3298. Be sure to subscribe and share this video with other people that might find it helpful. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.